Hey, welcome back to another doujinshi review from White Album 2. Today we're going to be taking a look at a short novel inspired by White Album 2, and this one is featuring Setsuna. So let's go ahead and take a look. So the title of this one is written in English. We've only just begun. Now, on the title page of this, it's actually a housing agency. It's very cleverly done so that the different housing advertisements contain the information about the story. So the title here, We've Only Just Begun. These are short stories from White Album 2. And then you can see here, it is written by Einshalt and distributed by White Hair Band, illustrated by Blue Garden. So in Japan, with the real estate housing agencies, even if you're just apartment hunting, you go to one of these types of places and they have many, many posters, up to 100 different small posters on the front windows that have pictures of different apartments and houses that you might be able to rent or buy. And so basically what this story is about is Haruki and Setsuna finally moving into a new apartment together. Hence the apartment search, and it's cute because you can tell it's supposed to be the Aqua Plus logo, but they do cut it out for copyright reasons. So very, very cute. I love it. I think this cover is clever and quirky. It's probably one of my favorites. This was written by Einshalt, and this is probably my favorite cover art from one of their stories as well. So we've only just begun. And as it says here, this is featuring Ogiso Setsuna by Einshalt. So this takes place post-Setsuna route after Coda. It's going to contain spoilers, so do be aware of that when reading. So it's broken up into kind of three parts. We've only just begun. So We've Only Just Begun is sort of what we talked about for the domestic life between Haruki and Setsuna, sort of moving into a new place, moving to the next part of their lives. And then here we have birthday 2 in the case of Haruki. And then we have the afterword and the thanks. Now what's interesting is this is called birthday 2. And the reason for it being birthday 2 is because Einshalt previously released a novel, and I have it here, so we'll take a quick look. So in Tarot Woman by Einshalt, we had Birthday, and Birthday focused on the birthdays of Haruki and Setsuna and Kazusa. So then in the next novel, in this one here, We've Only Just Begun, it focuses specifically on Haruki. So it's kind of a cute continuation, if not just explaining further in depth about Haruki's birthday. So I do love that. So let's take a look. We've only just begun. So as we said, this is basically just about them finding the new apartment, beginning their domestic life together, It's interesting with a relationship. You kind of lead your own lives, but once you move in together, it's almost like you constantly have to be aware of the other person. It really is bringing the relationship to the next level, and they've both become very hyper aware of that in the story, and just kind of finding their way around each other, but also deepening their care for one another in that same process. Now, one of the things that is interesting is, of course, in the closing chapter, Haruki is living in a studio apartment. And then later on, when they're apartment searching, they're looking for a 1 LDK or a 2 LDK. You can actually see here 1 LDK. So in the West, in like America and Canada, you usually just say it's a 1-bedroom apartment or a 2-bedroom apartment. But in Japan, it's broken down further. So 1 LDK, L means living room, D is dining room, and K is kitchen. So a 1 LDK does have a living room, a dining room, and a kitchen. You could also have like a 1 LK. So just a living room and a kitchen. You might not specifically have a dining room. You may not have a living room, so it'd be a 1DK. So it's interesting, just a little bit of culture there for you. Japan really breaks it down just because Japan, the apartments are typically smaller than they are in the West. So they break it down to apartments which contain a living room and apartments which don't. So interesting, just a bit of information. So very, very cute story about domestic life. If you're into that trope, especially in the very beginning of their relationship like that, I should say their formal relationship, their new life together, it's very, very cute. And then just moving on to Haruki's birthday here, birthday 2. It's a very cute birthday between Haruki and Setsuna. He ends up getting the day off of work and getting sent home early, and Setsuna's there to celebrate with him, which I think is especially meaningful, given what happened at the end of introductory chapter with Setsuna's birthday. I think giving Haruki like a special day, a really meaningful day for him is, doubly meaningful, just because of that one day with the betrayal, and Haruki missing out on Setsuna's birthday on that day. Her being able to make it special for Haruki, it's just, it pains me, honestly, but it is very, very cute. And then, of course, we have the afterword. Thank you so much for reading the book. Basically just summarizing the different things. The author does mention Tarot Woman here, which we took a look at earlier for the regular birthday story. The one thing that's cute, I think, in most of Einshalt's afterword, he always says, good evening, maybe. Maybe in parentheses, because they don't know what time you're going to be reading this story. So I think that's always very cute. And then thanking the illustrator, Blue Garden, thanking everyone. Always, always welcome reader thoughts. If you want to contact them on Twitter or contact them on their website here are the credentials there. And the titles, which with Einshalt are always going to be song titles, we have some from the Carpenters and from the Beatles. They're a very big Beatles fan. So this came out in 2015, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, a very popular day for releasing doujinshi. So here you can find them online or on Twitter. And then that is the end. And we have the circle name here, White Hairband. So we've only just begun. Thank you so much for joining me on this doujinshi review. I look forward to doing more White Album 2 doujinshi reviews in the future. So until then, I hope you take care. See you.